Rest. While he was still a long way off, his father caught sight of him and was filled with compassion. Luke chapter 15, verse 20. Wednesday of the third week of Lent. Our restlessness will eventually catch up with us. Saint Augustine writes that our heart is restless until it rests in thee. We are restless when we always need something more in order to accept ourselves. More money for security, more success for self-worth, more acceptance from others. Whatever the voice of restlessness sounds like in our lives, most of us will eventually hear an echo of the question, is this what life is really about? Why do I keep doing blank? In the parable of the prodigal son, the younger son lives a wild life after leaving home and eventually finds himself down and out among strangers. He is hungry and miserable and far from home. We can assume that he finally finds himself tired of being tired, so he got up and went back to his father. Luke chapter 15, verse 20. Imagine what is going through the son's mind as he travels back home. He wonders if he will be punished by his father and rejected by his family. He imagines shame will follow him forever. Yesterday and the day before, we talked about the voices that whisper to us in silence. We can only imagine what whispers torment the younger son as he gets closer to home. As the parable continues, we read, while he was still a long way off, his father caught sight of him and was filled with compassion. Luke chapter 15, verse 20. As we listen to Jesus deliver the parable, we can imagine the father going out every day to look out for his son. Yes, it is the father who is looking, not the son. It is the father who caught sight of him, whose eyes are filled with compassion. Imagine what it must have been like for the son when his father embraced him. This restless son who abandoned his father is now held close, even in his sin. The compassion that radiates from the heart of the father pierces the fears of the son. The son's former restlessness is drowned in mercy, and finally, he can rest in the truth of his father's love. Most of our restlessness is driven by the lies we listen to. We may be restless because we don't like something deep within us. Then we become fearful, and soon we seek escape. We become restless because of the deeper things in us that make us afraid. Yesterday, you thought about why the son left his father and why you leave the father. Today, ask Jesus about what causes your restlessness. As you do, remember Jesus wants you to rest. Ask the Lord to help you grow in self-awareness as you ask Him what within you makes you restless. For your prayer, stay here for an additional 10 minutes. Today, pray with Luke chapter 15, verses 11 to 24. Be with Jesus as He looks at tax collectors and sinners. How do they respond to Jesus? What stirs in your heart as Jesus speaks about the compassion of the Father?